Whoever loves me will keep my word. Whoever loves me will keep my word. So, Jesus is looking this morning for loving hearts in people who will keep his word. And he's not the only one, is he? Who doesn't seek the love of someone who will listen for your word, hear your word, understand your word, trust your word, respect your word, reverence your word, believe your word, treasure your word, keep your word? It's just like Jesus said, whoever loves you will keep your word. We give our word to many people, and many people give their word to us. We exchange the word of our hearts with each other. Parents to children, spouse to spouse, sibling to sibling, friend to friend, colleague to colleague, neighbor to neighbor, parishioner to priest, priest to parishioner. We give and receive words of friendship, words of love, words of trust, words of faith, words of pledge and promise. We spend our lives looking for people in whose hearts we can speak our word without fear of ridicule or rejection. And when you find such a heart, what a treasure that is. We look for other hearts where we trust that our heart's word will be respected and reverenced and treasured. We all seek those whose hearts will keep our word, and Jesus looks for nothing more and nothing less than the same. As he said, whoever loves me will keep my word. Keeping someone's word in my heart is not always easy. In fact, it's often very difficult. It requires attentiveness, care, vigilance, loyalty, strength, and a certain gentleness that is at the same time robust. To keep someone's word in my heart is to be attuned to its presence there, even obedient to its presence within me. To keep another's word is to listen to it carefully and to respond to it faithfully. To keep another's word is to be faithful to the one who gave my heart a word to keep. When I keep a word entrusted to my heart, there is found joy. Joy for me and joy for the person who trusted me with a word. When someone keeps the word I entrust to them, there is found joy. Joy for me and for the one I trusted my word with. And when I fail in keeping another's word, when someone fails in keeping the word I gave, the spirit, the bond we shared is sadly broken. If our greatest joy is found in reverencing and keeping the word we exchange and share with others, then our greatest sadness comes when that trust is lost and broken. I think we have all known both experiences. When you keep someone's word in your heart, certainly when you keep the Lord's word in your heart, you don't know when that word will call on you, what that word might ask of you, what that word might lead you to, how that word might change your life. Hearts that keep the word of others, hearts that keep the Lord's word, are hearts doing what hearts were made to do. Such are the hearts that we all seek for safeguarding the word each of us has and wants to share, the word each of us hopes and prays someone else will reverence and hold dear. Jesus seeks just that kind of heart in each of us. The word he asks me to keep is love, a word calling me to put others and their needs ahead of myself and my own needs. The word Jesus asks me to keep in my heart is a demanding word and a precious word. It's as stern as it is gentle, at times difficult to keep, but a joy to hold in my embrace. Those who keep Jesus' word are assured that their hearts will become a dwelling place for God. And wherever God is present, in that place is peace. As he promised in today's gospel, his peace he leaves with us, his peace he gives to us, the peace of those who love the Lord and keep his word. His is the peace we long for in our conflicts and our troubles, in our disagreements and our debates, in the problems and the worries that crowd and burden our hearts. So, I think we need to ask ourselves at this point some pretty nitty-gritty practical questions. When we see the nations of the world resort to the horrors of war to settle their differences, what word then does the Lord entrust to our hearts? What word does he ask us to keep? When we compare and contrast our own comfortable lives with the poverty, hunger, and homelessness of millions, what word then does the Lord entrust to our hearts? What word does he ask us to keep? When we debate the rights of women and the rights of children in the womb, what word then does the Lord entrust to our hearts? What word does he ask us to keep? When we consider the prejudice and suspicion that spoil all our goodwill and divide people of different color and creed, when we consider the grudges and the resentments in each of our lives, the discord in our families and our neighborhoods, what word then does the Lord entrust to our hearts and ask us to keep? Whoever loves me will keep my word, says the Lord. And if we keep the Lord's word will keep us in his peace. We know that the Lord keeps his word of love. We have only to look to the cross to see the proof of his love. At the table this morning, at the altar, he proves his love again. He keeps his word to us in the gift of his presence, the peace he offers us in our communion with him in the sacrament of the Eucharist. The sacrament of the Eucharist is the Lord's word of love made flesh, entrusted not only to our hearts and minds, but to our bodies and our souls. Pray with me that the word we keep, the word the Lord has entrusted to us, will be the word that reigns in our hearts and becomes the source of our deepest peace and our deepest joy.